The Tree Roots That Beat Like a Drum, 2012, Bogotá, Colombia. It began with a sound no one expected to hear from the earth itself, a steady, pulsing thump, like a heartbeat buried beneath the soil. On a rain-soaked evening in 2012, in a quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of Bogotá, a group of residents gathered at their windows, confused by a rhythm that seemed to echo through the ground. At first, people thought it was construction or maybe distant thunder. But the storm clouds were still, and the rumbling wasn't coming from the sky. It was rising from the roots of an old saber tree, a tree that, by all accounts, should have been silent. The rain fell harder, drumming on rooftops, yet the strange thumping cut through the downpour, deliberate, measured, as if keeping time. Curious neighbours ventured outside with umbrellas, stepping toward the tree that had stood there for generations. And as they approached, the earth beneath their feet seemed to gently vibrate, not shaking, pulsing. One resident knelt down, pressed her hand against the wet soil, and jerked back in disbelief. The roots weren't just vibrating, they were beating like a drum. Words spread quickly. People emerged from homes, some laughing nervously, others whispering prayers, unsure if they were witnessing something natural or supernatural. The sound grew louder, echoing under the entire sidewalk, forming a pattern, 3 short thumps, a pause, then 2 deeper ones, repeating like some kind of ancient message. Children asked if the tree was alive in a different way, if it was trying to talk. Elders spoke of old indigenous stories, of spirits that lived beneath sacred roots, communicating through the ground during storms. Skeptics blamed underground pipes. But the city later confirmed there were none running beneath that street. As the rain intensified, the rhythm reached its peak. The tree swayed slightly in the wind, but the beats didn't match the motion. They weren't random, they weren't chaotic. They were eerily precise, like the practiced hands of a drummer performing beneath the earth's surface. And then, just as suddenly as it began, the storm eased, the rain softened, and the pulsing slowed. One beat, a long pause, a final, faint thump. And then silence, deep, heavy silence. The residents stood there, soaked, speechless. The tree returned to its ordinary stillness, its roots motionless beneath the soil. Some insisted it was an acoustic echo from rainwater channels. Others believed it was a rare natural resonance triggered by the storm. And a few still swear the tree was alive in a way we don't yet understand, responding to the sky, the wind, or perhaps to us. What really caused the tree roots to drum that night remains a mystery. But for the people on that Bogotá street, it was a moment when the earth itself seemed to speak, and they've never listened to a rainstorm the same way again. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow.